Welcome again, and it feels like now we are already at the end of the day, like twilight and beer lamps and that stuff. Doesn't it feel like you want to have a beer now?
Exactly.
With those lights, it was all bright before.
I felt like that all day.
Welcome, Gary Smith and Joey Jones. And Joey Jones is the anchor of the show as usual. You know, he's the official guy. I'm just introducing, and then
It is the Smith and Jones show. Hosted by the famous Kurt Gable. Well, mate, it's just great to be here. I mean, I'm here all the time in the winter, but to have everybody back and have all my friends and got some of the French team coming over for dinner tonight, and it's just neat to have everybody here. You can start to feel the stress from some of my teams. I've seen some performances that weren't the same as they were last camp. I'm like, what happened? I don't know how your teams are going. How's Hayabusa getting along?
Much better day today. Yesterday, I think we went through a little bit of that, coming closer to the meet, and all of a sudden it was going a little bit too fast. So they lost the same. But today, much better day.
Good.
Back on track. But we had a little bit with Voodoo. We had a very good first session this morning, and then second session, I think we kind of lost it and went going too fast. The normal competition, nerves, vibe.
I gotta say, I was watching Hayabusa. They looked really good. I mean, Bob being so new, I mean, he's really filled the shoes of Roy. I thought pretty well. I don't know from as an outside, but former coach of all those guys. Yeah. He looked like he's really. I mean, a few little B-slot things, but I mean, for his experience level, wow, he's just killing it. I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. Same as Windor. He did a fantastic job in Windor, and they've done some tunnel training, not as much, but coming in here, he's doing so far looking super good. He's cool, and I think if we put a little bit more prep time into each jump, he'll be on it. The B slot, granted, a little bit weaker.
It's going to be now. And do we think there's any competition for Hayabusa? Kurt, what do you think? Is anybody going to come close? Who do we have here? Gavroche and
all the French guys.
We've got Rhythm's going to be here, but I'm just not sure. There's no airspeed.
But we will be able to compare indirectly, Rhythm to airspeed.
From the
Rhythm to Hayabusa, then Hayabusa to airspeed.
From
we'll be able to.
The Pericles meet.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting.
You said earlier your friends are over French, for dinner and all that. You live here, right? Sure.
We have an apartment here that we stay at in the winter time, and in the summer we're on the road. A lot of time in Sweden, Italy, Spain. I spend a lot of time in Seville now, jumping out there. But in the winter time, there's no better place to be than Bedford.
In the tunnel, right?
It's always good weather in the winter.
Yeah.
That's what you need in Europe.
So, Gary, let's go quickly through your agenda. Gary, you have Hayabusa, of course. You are flying with Voodoo.
Yeah, that's it for me.
That's it for you.
Those two teams. I've had requests, but it's too busy, and I'd rather spend the time with those two teams. So instead of trying to work with a team that I don't know that well.
Voodoo has some changes coming. Vanna has
surgery, unfortunately. She made the decision. I think it's the wisest decision. She had to make it, but very tough for her because she wanted to jump. We kind of already started planning dates, although nothing was set. But she, after this meet, I think end of April, she goes in for surgery on her ankle and she'll be out for the whole season.
Voodoo is the defending UK champion in 4-way, so it would be tough for them.
Very sad for her. I mean, I think for anyone in our team, she's the driver. She wants to jump, and so it was tough for her.
Wow. So what's their plans?
Joey is the challenger of the UK champion with Formula.
Yeah, Formula's. We've picked up a new member, Renata, she was on Dynamite Wolf Squadron. We've just done a few tunnel camps, but we had a great performance in the indoor meet on our own. And we start jumping in Seville in May. Maybe just 150 jumps, but we'll be going to the World Cup representing the UK, and we hope to get one of those medal spots at the UK Nationals next year. That's the plan.
Well, we have Vision 99, right?
Vision has got a huge big year plan. So they've got 350 jumps, and they've got a pretty healthy budget, but.
And then what about the Satori?
I was going to say there was talk of the Satori. Let's see what happens there.
It's kind of fizzled out a little bit, but Jules has got the new baby, so she's going to have to see how that all pans out.
Babies. Perrin Sanchez, she misses the meet because Liz, they may have an eye, so the mothers are busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think for the UK it's actually exciting. I mean, I must say it's nice to see Satori and the enthusiasm, but for me, I'm happy to see like a younger generation, and be it Vision, Formula, let them run with it. But of course, everyone is within their rights to come back and compete. So, I mean, from the outside point of view, for myself, my own opinion, I'd like to see young blood come through. I think it's always good. They're more driven, they want to spend the time, where we know that Satori could do half the amount of training and walk away with it. So, I mean, that's my opinion on the whole thing.
Let's dig a little bit into this before we come to an end here, because it's always an interesting part to me, at least, and for many of the audience. Whenever I'm going into the past and we're looking, posting some photos and stuff, the audience likes it. The traffic goes up. Those young men here, they're competing as coaches, they're competing as competitors. Voodoo, Formula, Hayabusa, and
Formula won't be in the competition here. We will be at the nationals.
We will be at the nationals. But they used to be teammates,
peace partners.
And not only that, they were teammates, they were world champions together, and that was in Tell the Story.
Well, between 2002 and 2004, we won every meet but one.
Yeah.
And we probably did 2,700 jumps together, some ridiculous number of jumps together.
Joey was the center outside, Gary was the point, so they were actually peace partners in the front piece for DLand Magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think great fun memories. And as in every team, you have your differences, you have the stuff. But I think if you go from the coach's side of it, yes, we're both competitive, but we share a lot of information, and we have laughs together when he's watching my team, I'm watching his team. So it's actually quite good. And I think the information, the knowledge, and the sharing still goes on. We don't try and hide stuff from each other.
Yeah, we've been coaching against each other since before we were competing. I mean, I was coaching the U.S. women, you were coaching
the Swedish.
My wife, he was used to coach my wife. I used to coach Craig Gerard's wife. Solly coached the British team, so we've been competing against each other as coaches. Yeah, so we've been competing against each other since way before. I mean, when I was on FX, we won the World Cup in '98. Solly was coaching the Norgies.
He was on the South African national team, actually.
Yeah, so it's with that history's been. We're old.
Gary didn't stop being world champion. And he continued with DLand Fire and then won another gold medal in 2006.
Yeah, correct. In Germany.
DLand Fire.
Yeah.
And then he didn't just let go. He wanted to be a world champion as a coach, right?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, Joey was coaching Hayabusa and did some fantastic work. So we both worked with them.
And Doug before that.
In fact, exactly.
Hayabusa
DLand Magic
has three members of DLand Magic has coached Hayabusa for the last 10 years.
Interesting.
And I must say, it's been great work for me to take over with them. It's a great team to coach. So in that sense, it's great that we've all worked with them, and we often discuss that even in the Hayabusa debriefs, the time with Joey, the certain techniques and that. So it's I think it's not one coach. They've kind of had a lot of coaching, and they've taken all.
I feel like they're a nice product, though, a younger version of the ideas that Magic had.
Though.
True.
Yeah, but I coached Dennis and I coached Bob coming up, and I can see the ideas that we started. I mean, we broke the 22 average, we broke the 23 average with a harder dive pool and 2-point busts, and the ideas, the changes that got us those averages. I've seen these young kids, because I mean, my body's not going to do what their body's doing anymore. But I see a continuation of our progression with their talent, our ideas that we have developed.
And they mentioned earlier that they have developed now, and they're proud that they have developed their own style. It's not nobody's style any longer. It's a Hayabusa style, which comes as a result of this whole development.
It's the next generation of the ideas that were started, though.
All right, guys, I know you have a busy agenda. I don't want to hold you up for too long. Thank you very much for taking the time.
No problem, Kurt. Thank you.
Good luck with all your projects here.
Thank you very much.
All right, back upstairs. See you, buddy.